My name is Justin. I live in Colorado. This happened last year in the mountains just outside Telluride. It was me and my friend Eric. We were driving back from a ski trip late at night, sometime around 1:30 a.m. The road was empty. The fog was so thick, we could barely see past the headlights. We were on a mountain pass, winding road. No streetlights, just sharp turns and drop-offs on either side. That's when I noticed headlights behind us, dim, flickering. Too far to see the car clearly, but they stayed with us. Turn after turn, they kept following, never speeding up, never falling back, just steady. Eric thought it was normal, said maybe it was someone who lived nearby, but I had a weird feeling. Something about the way the lights moved, they bounced too much. Like the car was shaking, but eventually, the road straightened out a bit. That's when the car got closer. It was an old Dodge sedan. The windshield looked shattered. The hood dented. No front plate. The weird part, the driver's side window was fogged up completely, like whoever was inside wasn't breathing. We slowed down a bit to let them pass. They didn't. After about 45 minutes of this, Eric got fed up. We took a sharp side road, a small turnoff that led behind a rocky hill. Parked there, killed the lights. We waited. 5 minutes, nothing. Guess they kept going. Eric said. We pulled back out onto the road and almost hit it. The Dodge was parked, right in the middle of the road, engine off, no lights, just sitting there, but no one inside. We drove around it slowly, our headlights sweeping over the cracked windshield. Still no one. Then, in the rearview mirror, its lights turned on. We didn't stop again. We drove for nearly an hour straight. No talking, no music, just watching the mirrors. Eventually, we reached a gas station on the edge of town. As we pulled in, we saw it again. That same Dodge, parked across the street, facing us. Inside the station, the guy at the counter was older. Looked like he'd been working there forever. He looked at us and said, "You boys all right? You look like you saw a ghost." Eric asked, "Have you seen that car?" "The Dodge across the street." The guy nodded. His face changed. "You're the third ones tonight to ask about it." Then he said something I'll never forget. That car belonged to a man named Bill Rourke. He died in a wreck on that mountain road back in '98. Every couple months, someone comes through here saying it followed them. We looked outside. The Dodge was gone. Just empty street. We never saw it again. But sometimes, when I'm driving that same stretch of road late at night, I still check my rearview mirror, just in case. My name's Haley. This happened in October 2022, when I was driving alone through Oregon, heading from Pendleton to Portland along I-84. I had left late, around 10:30 p.m. The highway was quiet, almost empty. Just headlights, mist, and occasional green exit signs glowing in the dark. The GPS said I'd be home in 3.5 hours. I never made it somewhere between La Grande and Baker City. Google Maps gave me a detour. A new route, same ETA. I figured it was rerouting around construction or traffic, so I took it. Left the highway, entered a 2-lane forest road. Tall pine trees on both sides, no streetlights. Dark, but kind of peaceful at first. There was fog in patches, and the road dipped and curved, but it seemed normal. For a while, about 25 minutes in, I started noticing something weird. A yellow diamond sign that said "Watchies for Deer." It looked familiar. Then, a tree stump with spray paint on it, same pattern I remembered from earlier. Then, a wooden fence, with a crooked post at the end. It was like I'd passed that spot already, but GPS still said 13 miles to merge. Another 10 minutes, I passed the same deer sign again. Same stump, same fence. My heart started pounding. I stopped the car, turned on the hazards, and looked at my phone. No signal. I tried refreshing maps. It froze. The road ahead was dark, winding, and silent. No traffic, no signs of life. Just trees. That's when I looked at my fuel gauge. I'd started with 3/4 tank. I'd only driven an hour, but the needle was nearly at 1/4. It didn't make sense. No steep climbs, no AC. It was like the fuel was disappearing faster than it should. Up ahead, I saw a white road sign, black letters, exit ahead, 1 mile. Finally, I took a deep breath and sped up. A minute passed, 2 minutes, no exit, just trees. Then I saw it, the same white sign again, same crack on the corner, same faded letters, exit ahead, 1 mile. I was about to turn around when I saw flashing lights in the trees. A police cruiser, parked on the side. Relief hit me like a wave. I pulled over, got out, ran up to the driver's side. No one inside, no keys, no radio, just the cruiser idling. And that's when I saw it. Parked right behind it was my car, same color, same dent on the bumper, same air freshener hanging from the mirror. It was exactly my car, running. But I was standing in the woods. I walked closer, looked inside. The driver's seat was empty, but the phone charger plugged in was playing my Spotify playlist. Same song I'd been listening to earlier. I heard a knock from the forest, just one, then another, like someone knocking on wood. Slow, deliberate. I backed up, got into the cruiser, locked the doors. The cruiser's fuel was full. I shifted into drive and took off. Didn't look back. I don't remember how long I drove. Eventually, I hit pavement that looked familiar. White lane markers, reflective signs. A green overhead sign said, "Welcome to Pendleton." I-84 junction 3 miles. I was back where I'd started. It was 6:42 a.m. I had lost 7 hours. I went back the next week with a friend, tried to find that forest road. There was no detour, no path, just a chain-locked service road with a no entry sign and trees grown thick behind it. When I checked Google Maps history, it showed no reroute, just straight I-84. Don't drive alone at night anymore, especially not when my GPS says, "This route saves 5 minutes." My name's Tyler. I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This happened last year when I was driving home from a friend's wedding near Farmington. It was a 6-hour drive through the desert. I left around 11 p.m. No traffic, no lights. Just desert on both sides and a long, empty road ahead. State Route 313. Bat 2 hours in, I saw him. A man standing dead center in the road, not waving, not walking, just standing still, facing me. Both arms at his sides. No backpack, no flashlight, just a black jacket and jeans. I hit the brakes, swerved slightly. By the time I stopped, I looked back. He was gone. 15 minutes later, there he was again. Same man, same road, same spot. This time I didn't stop. I swerved around him and kept going. But when I checked the rearview mirror, he wasn't there. Nothing. Just the empty road. 10 more minutes passed. I was watching the lines on the road, trying to stay awake. Then I saw him. Again. Same figure. Same posture. Only this time, he wasn't in the middle. He was on the side. And as I passed, he turned his head slowly, and I swear he looked straight into my eyes through the window. I slammed the brakes, got out, flashlight in hand. No one, no footprints, no sign anyone had been there. Just desert silence and wind. Reached the next town, a small place called Algodones, just after 4 a.m. Stopped at a diner, ordered coffee, tried to calm down. The waitress was maybe in her 60s friendly. She asked if I was okay, said I looked pale. I told her what I saw. The man on the road. She went quiet, set my coffee down gently, then said, "That's the old 313 hitchhiker. Locals say you only see him when you're not supposed to be on that road yet." I asked what that meant. She didn't explain. Just looked out the window and said, "Most people don't get a third warning." Checked online. There were no reports of accidents or anyone walking that road that night. But in a Reddit thread about haunted highways in New Mexico, I found one comment. Just one? It said, "If you see the hitchhiker 3 times in one night, don't stop. He's not looking for a ride. He's looking for someone who doesn't belong. Never drove 313 again. Not at night. And if I ever see a man standing in the middle of the road again, I'm not stopping. Even if it looks like me." My name is Marcus. I live in San Bernardino, California. This happened in the summer of 2021 when I was driving back from a weekend trip in Las Vegas. It was around 2:15 a.m. when I hit the long stretch of I-15 South, heading through the Mojave. If you've ever driven that road at night, you know it's not just quiet, it's empty. No towns for miles, no cell reception, just miles of black highway, the desert, and the occasional flicker of far-off headlights. I was about 30 miles south of Vegas when I saw him. Just ahead in the high beams, a man walking down the center median where the two directions of the freeway are divided by that long gravel strip. Not on the shoulder, not hitchhiking, just walking slowly and steadily, like he belonged there. He wore dark pants, a long coat that looked heavy even in the desert heat, and no bag, no phone, no flashlight, just walking, head down. I slowed a little. He didn't look up, didn't flinch as I passed, just kept walking the line. 10 miles later, I saw him again. Same coat, same posture. This time I got a clearer look. Even though he was still facing away, his coat was dripping wet, like he'd been walking through rain. But it hadn't rained all night, not a drop. And his feet, bare, dusty, cracked soles. I looked around, nothing but dry desert and sky. No places he could have come from. That stretch of I-15 is all sand, dirt, and distant mountains. I sped up. After 20 more minutes of silence, I saw another sign. Exit 145, Halloran Springs, which confused me. I had already passed Halloran Springs nearly half an hour ago. I checked the GPS. It had frozen. The map just said, recalculating. I kept driving to 2:72 a.m. I was wide awake by then, nerves on edge. I had my high beams on, radio low, eyes scanning every shadow. That's when I saw him again, dead center in the median. Same coat, still soaked, same walk. This time, I slowed down, tried to get a good look. As I got closer, I noticed something that made my chest tighten. He wasn't walking anymore. He was standing still, facing away but motionless, like he was waiting. I passed him slowly. In my rearview mirror, he turned. Just enough. I couldn't see his face, but his head turned toward my car, kept driving. Faster now, hands tight on the wheel. The road stretched on. Still no exits, still no signal. I passed the same damn exit 145 sign again. That's when I noticed it. The passenger seat beside me felt wet. I glanced over. There was a dark stain on the fabric, like something had soaked into it, and the seatbelt was stretched out, clicked in, like someone had buckled themselves in. But I was alone. I kept my eyes on the road, didn't look over. Then I heard it. Not loud, not aggressive, just close. A soft, slow whisper. We walk in circles here. My heart dropped. It didn't come from outside. It came from inside the car. Right beside me. Drove without stopping for another 40 miles. No music, no glancing to the right. When I finally saw the lights of Baker, California, a tiny desert town with one all-night diner, I pulled off. The car was silent again. I parked, stepped out, left the door open. When I looked at the passenger seat in the light, it was dry. No stain, no stretched out seatbelt, just normal. Like nothing ever happened inside the diner. An older man sat at the counter. He saw me walk in, looking shaken, and said, "You all right, son?" I nodded, ordered coffee, then asked, "Have you ever seen a guy walking down the center of the freeway around here?" He didn't answer right away. Then he said, "You mean the one in the coat?" "Yeah. He's been out there since before they paved I-15. People used to say he's looking for the spot he died at. Beat. Only ever shows up to drivers who get stuck in the loop." I asked, "What loop?" He just stared at me. "You'll know if you're still in it." Left 20 minutes later. The air smelled like rain, but the sky was clear. When I got in my car, the passenger door was unlatched. Not open, just not fully shut. And the seatbelt was buckled in again. I didn't touch it. I didn't unbuckle it, just started the engine and kept driving. My name is Laura. I live in Austin, Texas. This happened in May of 2022 when I was driving alone to visit my cousin in El Paso. It was supposed to be a straight shot west on I-10, around a 9-hour drive. I'd done it twice before, but this time, I never made it. And no one can explain where I ended up that night. I left early afternoon, The plan was to drive through the evening and reach El Paso by midnight. Everything was smooth until somewhere past Fort Stockton around 10 p.m. That's when GPS suddenly announced, faster route found, save 18 minutes. I didn't think twice. I tapped OK. The new route took me off the interstate onto a small 2-lane highway called FM1 906. Never heard of it before. But Texas is full of roads like that, stretches of nothing with a gas station every 50 miles. So, I followed it. 20 minutes down the new road, I saw a green road sign in the distance. Halloway, 8 miles. I remember smiling. I hadn't planned on stopping, but a quick restroom and drink break sounded good. The tank was still half full. The road narrowed as I drove. Tall prairie grass on either side, no streetlights, and not a single car in sight. And then, right around 10:42 p.m., the town appeared. It looked perfect. Not in a flashy way, more like something out of the 1960s. Brick buildings, wide streets, a small gas station on the right with a glowing neon sign. Guelph. Not Shell, not Exxon, just Guelph. Across from it was a diner, lights on, curtains drawn, a few people inside eating. And further down the street, I could see a barber shop, a small grocery, a post office. Every storefront was lit and open, even though it was nearly 11 p.m. It was quiet, but clean, peaceful, too peaceful. Pulled into the Gulf station and stepped out. The air smelled like dry grass and gasoline. A man in his 50s stood behind the counter, smiling politely. "Evening, ma'am. Heading through." I nodded, grabbed a bottle of water, and asked if the restroom was open. He pointed to the back. I used the bathroom, paid for the water, and started heading back to the car. "Before I stepped out," he added, "careful on the road ahead. Gets easy to miss your turn in the dark." Back in the car, I opened GPS again. It froze. Just a blue dot, no map, no road. I waited a second, then started driving back the way I came. Or I thought I did. 10 minutes later, I passed a Gulf gas station again. Same neon sign, same cracked pavement. At first, I assumed I turned the wrong way, maybe a looped main road around town. So I tried a different turn, a side road this time. 5 minutes in, same diner, same people through the window, still eating, still sitting in the exact same positions. I drove in 3 different directions, north, then west, then south again. Each road eventually brought me right back to the town center. The same exact town center, same rusted pickup outside the grocery store, same bus stop, same clock tower stuck at 10:57 p.m. permanently. No matter how far I drove, I kept ending up back there. I pulled over and walked back into the gas station. Same man behind the counter, still smiling. I asked, "Is there another way out of town?" His expression didn't change. He said out, then chuckled softly. "Well, sure. You're always free to leave, ma'am. Just gotta head the right way." Pressed him, "What's the right way?" He looked out the window for a second, then said, "I reckon you'll know it when it feels like it don't belong." I walked back to my car. The window was fogged up. Inside, written on the windshield from the inside out, were 3 words. USHOULD&B here. I looked around. No one was near me. Suddenly I heard it, a whisper right behind my ear. "You saw it." I spun around. Nothing. Just the empty parking lot and that neon Guelph sign, buzzing faintly, desperate. I took the only road I hadn't tried yet, a narrow dirt road behind the post office. No lights, just weeds and gravel. I drove for nearly 20 minutes, my headlights flickering slightly. Then, out of nowhere, a green sign appeared. "Welcome to Halloway. Population 327. I had somehow entered the town again. From the opposite side, I parked the car, turned off the engine, sat in silence. Then I noticed something strange. The clock tower ahead, the one stuck at 10:57, the minute hand had moved. It was now 10:58. Just 1 minute, but enough. I turned on the car. This time, I didn't follow the roads. I cut straight through a vacant lot, down a side alley, over a curb, through a field. And after a few bumpy turns, the sky opened. I saw a freeway on-ramp, a real one, with traffic, tire lights, semi-trucks. I merged onto it, and GPS snapped back to life. Continue on I-10 west for 200 and levels. The next day, I told my cousin. We tried looking up Halloway, Texas. Nothing. No records, no maps, no town charter, no historical mentions. Even Google Street View showed empty desert where mentions. Even Google Street View showed empty desert where I had been. But the receipt from the gas station, it was still in my purse, stamped at the top Gulf station. Maine sent Halloway TX, 10:56 p.m. Kept that receipt. Sometimes I pull it out just to remind myself that I didn't imagine it. Because every once in a while, I see a road sign while driving. Faster route available. And I don't tap OK anymore, because now I wonder, how many places like Halloway are out there, waiting for the wrong person to make a wrong turn? My name is Aaron. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. This happened in December 2020 when I was driving cross-country to visit my mom in Reno, Nevada. It was late, snowing lightly, and I was somewhere near the Utah-Nevada border. Empty roads, no signal, just snowy asphalt and old motels long since abandoned. I was tired, hungry, and running out of gas. That's when I saw the sign Patty's Place, open 24 HRS, white neon glowing through the snow. I pulled in. It looked old, like 1950s old. Red booths, chrome bar stools, vinyl seats. But it was spotless, warm, bright. Music from a jukebox playing low. And there were people. A couple near the window, an old man reading a newspaper, a waitress behind the counter, all calm, all too calm, sat down at the bar. The waitress came over. "What can I get you, hon?" Smile didn't reach her eyes. I asked for coffee and a slice of apple pie. She nodded and walked away. No notepad, no order system. As she moved, I noticed something weird. None of the other people were talking, not even the couple at the booth. They were just sitting, staring out the window, unblinking. I looked at the clock above the kitchen door. It said 12:32 a.m. I checked my phone. 12:32 a.m. Okay. I sipped my coffee. 5 minutes passed. 10. The clock. Still 1, 2, 3, 2. I refreshed my phone. Still 1, 2, 3, 2. AS. I looked around. I noticed someone I hadn't seen before. A man in a black coat, sitting in the back booth. He wasn't eating, wasn't drinking, just sitting perfectly still, head tilted slightly, like he was listening to something far away. When I blinked, he was gone, got up to use the restroom. The hallway was dim, lights buzzing faintly. On the way back, I passed a door that wasn't labeled. It was slightly open. Inside, shelves with old items, newspapers, dusty menus. One headline caught my eye: Local diner fire kills 6, December 2011. Patty's Place, permanently closed. I froze. That was this diner. Same logo, same bar stools, same name. I rushed back toward the front. The waitress was still standing there. Same smile, same unmoving couple in the booth. I whispered, "When does this place close?" She looked at me, still smiling. "Honey, this place hasn't closed in a long, long time." I ran out into the cold. Snow hitting my face, got in my car, turned the key. The dashboard time blinked. 12:32 a.m. I drove. Didn't stop, no matter how far I drove. My phone still said 1, 2, 3, 2. You, until I reached a motel an hour later. Suddenly, it changed. 1:41 a.m. the next morning, I went online. Searched for Patty's Place, Utah. Only result: burned down in 2011, abandoned, no longer standing. I checked my dashboard again. There was a napkin still on the passenger seat. "For stopping by, hon." Patty, if you've ever taken a long drive late at night, then you know that empty roads aren't always empty. Sometimes the real danger isn't what you see in your headlights, it's what's already in the back seat. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these true-style horror stories and want more, make sure to hit that like button. It helps the channel a ton. And hey, if you've ever had something strange happen on a road trip or in a place that shouldn't exist, I'd love to hear it. Drop your story in the comments. Who knows? Maybe it'll be featured in the next episode. Subscribe for more real, slow-burn horror stories every week. And until next time, watch the roads. And don't take the shortcut.